do this. All right, I don't know if this thing is streaming yet. It says it is. Anyway, I'm gonna wait here until it pops up on the other monitor before I start chattering away. But yes, I am dressed warm. It is cold downstairs in this house because the heat goes upstairs and the thermostat is downstairs. So if I set the thermostat for where it's comfortable upstairs where I sleep, then it is either super hot up there if it's normal temperature down here, or it's cool down here and it's nice up there. So I just gotta adjust some stuff. Let me see here. Looks like, wow, it's working. Okay, so we're gonna do some drone flying, and on recommendation, I picked up a Velocidrone, and we're gonna give it a shot here. Now I got it set up a little bit earlier, just did a quick test to make sure that my my controller was linked up properly and everything. Hang on, I got headsets on in here. Take those off so they're not in the way. And it's been, oh, that's loud. Sorry, my volume is very loud. I'm just gonna go like this. Can you guys hear me now? I think so. It looks like it's working. Let's just switch over and I'll start chatting here. So let me get this thing pulled up. All right, we'll go here. Now we got scene, boom. Now we should be in drone mode. So I did test this out a little bit earlier. It is a little bit better than the what is it? The DRL simulator, a tiny bit. However, DRL simulator is totally good. I would be happy enough to go back and forth to the other one too after doing this. It's been a little bit of a crazy. I'm just going to go to quick start. We're going to go to whatever they show me here. And I'm not even going to hit start. I'm going to kind of fly around for a little bit because I do just want to get used to flying these little guys here. So yeah, there's these crazy fires out here in LA today. It started yesterday, and I was up basically all night last night. I was up all night last night trying to just watch what was going on. Now, fortunately, the fires are not super close to us. However, a lot of my friends are being affected, and that is very stressful. And the fire's been spreading so fast, and there's more of them popping up, and it makes me wonder, how much of that is like some like arsonist doing some wild stuff, or what the deal is. And yeah, this has been stressful, and I haven't got a lot done today because I've just been watching the news all day. And yeah, so I went on here, I bought this one, this simulator, and currently it's pretty awesome, but you have to buy expansion packs for it. So, oh dang it, you have to basically buy the expansion packs. So if I want to go do like freestyle stuff and fly outside and like different obstacles, I gotta buy that pack for it, which is like, it's not too expensive, but I mean, it's not expensive at all really. It's like $6 or something. But anyway, I just didn't want to like go crazy if I hadn't even tried this yet. So I'm gonna get the hang of this simulator a little bit. Now I gotta be perfectly honest, I'm not great at this clearly, but it's a little better than the DRL simulator, but it's not shockingly better. I think that DLR is probably a pretty good one to practice with if you haven't tried it. It's got, especially if you haven't done anything, the tutorials seem really good. Now, I haven't flown FPV drones before, so I've only done this stuff in simulator. However, I've flown the cinema drones. You'll hear me say this in every one of my videos. I've flown kind of like cinema drones, like DJI style. And my first drone was a Storm Drone 6, which is kind of like a little bit more like FPV style flying in the sense that the throttle control is not automatic. Like, you have to control the throttle the whole time. So it would stop in place. It had a GPS on it, and it would stop in place. However, it wouldn't hold its altitude unless you would have to sit there and hold its altitude on your own, which is similar to how like the nerfed out version of the FPV simulators are. Which, again, if you heard me the other day, I was saying how I wish I just turned all the guardrails off and just went full like FPV mode. Because see, I'm crashing a lot, but oh, there we go. But I feel like I would have. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. I feel like I would have got through all this stuff sooner. And again, right now I'm not doing the course. I'm just trying to like get a little hang of this because it's still new to me. I'm trying to give myself some little lessons here. And it is really late, so I know anybody anywhere is probably like asleep. But I was up super late last night. Kind of had weird naps today because I'll probably be up again late tonight. There's new fires popping up. Now, I don't know how many of you know LA, but damn it. But the fire started in Pacific Palisades, which is a beautiful area. There's Temescal Canyon and a bunch of stuff over that way that's really neat. When I ride my bike, I ride sometimes down Sunset through the Palisades down to the ocean and then cut down through Santa Monica. It's a beautiful area, beautiful houses. It's just really like coveted place to live in LA. But now a lot of houses got caught in this fire, like beautiful, nice houses. Now, I do feel like, fortunately, is sad as it is, most of the people in that area have quite a lot of money. So it's terrible that they lost their things and their memories and their houses destroyed, but financially many of the people that live in that area will be able to make it out okay. Then over by Altadena, which is another area that I love, it's right next to Pasadena, and if you watch my videos where I run, there's a trail that I do a lot, kind of a lot. It's one of my favorite trails. I don't do it a lot. I do it a few times a year. It's called Echo Mountain, and that area is in Altadena. And that whole mountain over there by Eaton Canyon Falls and all that, where the hiking trails are, caught on fire. And there's this insane wind for the Santa Anas, and they basically caused the fires to spread like mad. And Altadena, tons and tons of houses in Altadena got burned up, including some of my friends' houses, which is really sad. They lost everything. And unlike the Pacific Palisades, people that live over there are just more normal. They don't have tons of money, so they're not poor necessarily, but they're not loaded, and they don't have probably heaps of money in the bank to get through a disaster. And yeah, a couple of my friends that lost their place are really, really talented, really creative, nice people, and they have a little daughter. And they were ordered to evacuate, and they came back this morning, and the house was just gone. Just like gone. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you can see on my story, I posted a picture before and after. I actually just was over at their house in October for a project I was working on that they were also working on with me. And I was noting how much their house reminded me of my old house in North Hollywood, where they had like a standalone garage. It was kind of like the workshop and everything. So, I mean, tons of the videos on my page are in my shop. And they've got like a very similar setup, had a very similar setup. They had all their equipment in there, and they're I don't know. They're both makers, and they work for animation studios and fabricators and all that kind of stuff. So they got a lot of specialty art equipment that basically got lost. So yeah, that's not fun. And then a few other people I know, kind of same thing. And a lot of my friends have been evacuated from their homes. They had to like leave their house and try to go find a place to stay. And I go to a shelter or find friends to stay with or something. And boy, I cannot get these tight turns. If I'm going too fast, I drift a little bit. So anyway, it's been just a stressful day. And then another fire popped up at Runyon Canyon, which is another place that my wife and I go to semi-regularly. We used to go there all the time. When I first moved to LA, it was one of the closest places to hike to where I lived, so we went there a lot. And then just afternoon, early evening, another fire popped up at Runyon Canyon, and that was just oh damn it, that was not good. I've been watching that. Fortunately, the winds are a little less, but now one of the big problems is that last night the winds were gusting like over 80 miles an hour. I think there were some 90-mile-an-hour gusts up in the Santa Monica Mountains. And typically when there's fires out here, they have all this air support that can fly out, these helicopters and these planes that can drop water. And this time they could not fly them because the winds were too strong. And so it caused the fires to spread and spread and spread. And over the course of the night, it engulfed all of this stuff. This whole little like village area of the Palisades, which is really, really a cool spot. And a lot of times there's a Ralph's shopping center there, a little grocery store, where I would go shopping if I was headed over to the beach that way, or going to ride my bike down that way. I've been there many times, and a whole shopping plaza burned up, and the plaza across the street completely burned up, and tons of homes in that neighborhood right there caught on fire and just gone. All that's left are the chimneys. It's really, really sad. So that's where my brain has been at all day. So hopefully this drone thing is going to help distract me a little bit, but I don't know. Definitely some getting used to these little obstacles. The stuff I've been flying around have been like kind of bigger spaces on the practice. So this is pretty fun. I might do a race here in a second. Oh, I got stuck somewhere. Now, sometimes they'll do this thing, and I don't think you guys can hear the audio for this. I don't think. I know with the other simulator, the DRL simulator, the audio is not coming through the live stream, but oh god, but you can hear the throttle. I can hear it in my headphones, and every once in a while on this simulator it'll just go full blast, and I don't know if it's a problem between the connection to the remote, or if it's just the simulator needs to be like calibrated better to my remote, or I don't know what. Never did that on the other simulator. Doesn't do it all the time. Every once in a while I'll just do a little tap and it'll go, and then if I drop the throttle all the way down, it's still full throttle and just slam up into the ceiling, and that is annoying. I'm trying to get used to doing these like little tight turns. If I can get the turns down quick and then not drift quite as far like that would be pretty cool. And now I got to get to where I feel like Zoolander, where you can only turn one way. Stat just did it just there where the throttle is stuck. Maybe I'm bumping something, and in the game if you bump something, maybe it causes some drone malfunction. I don't know. But yeah, so far, just did it again. I'm like, did I bump a thing? I'm trying to figure that out. I don't know. Oh, come on. I don't know. Oh, God. Don't know if, again, I feel like this simulator, it is better flying wise than a DRL, but it's not as big of a difference as I was expecting. It's there's a better kind of like, I think the thing is the throttle is a little better responsiveness on this one compared to the other one. Yeah, maybe it is when I bump something that causes the throttle to go crazy. Yeah, I mean, so now maybe if I swap back over, I won't feel, maybe I'll feel like the other one is not as good. But as a first, you know, this is my first time really trying this out. Oh God, look at that, upside down. Should I do a race? Should I do it in race mode? I don't even think anybody's on here with me. It's okay. Ooh, it's a weird voice. Oh no, it's going the right way, and then I gotta go around this thing. I did it wrong, but it checked me off anyway for some reason. Come on. Ah! Ah! Nope. Alright, here we go. Go around this thing, I think. Oh, I see what it is. I gotta kind of go around it or over. I got it around it or over the top. I don't know. Okay, I'm stuck under something. Oh my God, cool. Whatever is around me, I can't back up to get out of this hole. There we go. Oh, almost got it. Come on. I gotta fly around this one like this. And back to the top. And then, and then not that way. Didn't need to go that way. We need to go a little S turn there. Oh. Dang. Okay, let's see if I can get back. This one I'm gonna go up and over. Vertically like this. Oh my God, I almost did it. Again, you guys, if you're watching this, you got to understand, I have only been doing FPV stuff for like a few days, and I'm just getting grips on how some of these things are different from what I'm used to. Oh man. Okay. Oh, sorry, I don't even know what just happened. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna try to turn and go through that bottom, but I guess I gotta go this way. Oh my God, is that a loop? Where am I? Oh, I gotta go up. Oh my God. I really just have to learn all the tricks here. What I have to do, go through the top one, and then go through this one, and that one. Sorry guys, I'm really trying to control this thing, but it is tricky. And then if I clip something, it sends me off into La La Land. Oh. Yeah, man. Look at that. See, that's the thing. I hit it wrong, turn the throttle all the way down, but just did it again. If I bump a thing, even if I completely drop the throttle, it just puts the throttle in full blast and sends me flying. And I do not like that aspect. There it goes. Okay, come on. Look, I'll take a picture. It'll be totally, throttle will be dropped. And it does this. There it goes. If I bump a thing, which I'm trying not to do, but it's not very, I wish that it was like a little quicker, like that. I just touched the floor, freaked out. I wish that the response to, if you have a crash or something, like, you see how it just freaked out like that? I wish that was a little bit faster as far as like just getting you going again. Like just reset me, you know, you bumped the thing too bad, just reset it. Don't make me sit there and struggle on the floor if you're not going to let me, you know, flip the drone over or get it off of the, oh, let's see if I can get this. Oh my God, so hard. Hello, Gordon. The fire sounds scary. Hey, Tony. Oh, toy maker outside. The Hollywood sign safe for burning. So right now, the Hollywood sign is totally safe. And it is all made out of metal now. I think at one time it actually got caught in a fire and it burned. And so now it is all metal. So it should survive a fire if it were to catch on fire. However, Runyon Canyon, where if you're at Runyon Canyon, you can look over and see the Hollywood sign. I don't know if you've ever been there. But Runyon Canyon is on fire, and that is upsetting. And another friend of mine used to live in a house right across from Runyon Canyon. I'm worried that house is going to be... he doesn't live there anymore, but it was a cool place, and it would be a bummer if it burned up. Yeah, oh my God. I guess forest fires here in Vancouver. Oh yeah. Vancouver's beautiful. I went up there a long time ago, and I really liked it. I went this in 2008, so it's getting pretty far out, 17 years ago. But it was beautiful. Vancouver is very nice, and oh my God, I'm gonna make it through this stupid tunnel one of these days. Yeah, it typically doesn't have. We don't get fires this time of year. Usually it's past because of winter. It's usually rainy season, and I see what I got to do. I'm supposed to go this way when I leave that loop. Go this way. Go over. These stupid ceilings in here. Just go over. Oh my God, guys. Typically this time of year, it's winter and it's the wet season, and it has not rained at all this year. It's been really, 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 really dry. And I went to Mount Baldy. It's typically my Christmas hike is on Mount Baldy every year. And I'm from Florida originally, so you know I didn't grow up with snow or anything, and so going to Mount Baldy is like my chance to see some snow every year. And no snow this year, and there was a fire up there a few months ago, and they closed the summit, which is super unfortunate. So it's been just a kind of weird year here weather-wise. And so because of the lack of moisture, all the fires are just going crazy. I think that the humidity today was like 6% or something in some of the areas down that way. Super, super low. I mean, where I'm at, I think it's 20. When I was in Florida, it would be like literally 100% humidity. Like the air would be saturated, and everything would just be damp all the time. And here it's so much drier. Oh God, this stupid thing. I grew up here in Vancouver, and my whole life we never had fires or smoke. Now we have it every year for the last 7 or 8. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't have anything to compare it to really, because like in Florida, I mean, there were some pine places that would get fires once in a while, but they usually did controlled burns, and some music is on my ears. They would do controlled burns, and it would really like cut down on how much the fires would spread. And again, everything's damp, so you know, if they had to fight a fire, it was generally pretty easy for them, relatively speaking. You know, it was easier to put out than you know, like these big forest fires here, where everything's dry and they spread really, really fast. I mean, if you look at some of the videos from here, it's bananas. The wind was so bad yesterday that Santa Ana winds are always like this time of year. They always we always get some crazy winds, but it was particularly bad. And what's funny is where I live now, that it usually it's windy here most of the year, and it actually hasn't been that windy here at my house. But down, like, I live a little north of LA. I'm in Los Angeles County, but I live north of, like, LA, the city. And that is definitely made it, like, it's weird because I'm in LA all the time, like in LA proper, just about every, I don't know, a couple times a week for work and stuff. I don't live that far, and whenever I go down there, I always try to do my hikes and all my stuff that I like to do, that I used to do when I lived there. I'd go out all the time. So even though I'm not in the fire zones, I feel very connected to the stuff, and a lot of the places I love are in that area. And I really hope it doesn't end up in Griffith Park. And the way it's spreading, and it seems like people are reporting arsonists and stuff. I saw a friend make a post where showing all these police reports of different people reporting people that are starting fires, and it's like, man, don't do that. Bringing pyros, it costs a bunch of people their livelihood and maybe their life. Oh, come on. We had our first heat dome 2 years back. My God, it was insane. That's right. I remember seeing that thing about all this, about the old people that weren't used to having like a heat wave. And I mean, I see that it happened in Europe and stuff too. I remember that was a thing too, was happening all over. People would go out and do stuff, and I don't know how it is in Vancouver as far as that goes, but I know in Europe there was a lot of places where they don't even have, they don't have AC or anything. They're just, when they just live without it, and it's, they might have some hot days here and there, but it's not like scorching hot where you need to be in the air conditioning. But it's been getting that way. It's pretty freaky. Oh, this thing! I keep crashing so much. But yeah, it's been wild, and just to see how many people are losing their homes with this fire stuff is crazy. Oh, I almost did the thing, but I did it overkill. Oh my God, I'm getting too fast. We have lots of movies filmed here, much like LA studios and such. It's cheaper to film here. Oh, I know. I mean, what's funny is when I first moved here to California, I initially wanted to do VFX work and matte paintings and stuff like that. And I wanted to do VFX, matte paintings, and there used to be tons of places here in LA to do that, but they all moved to Canada. A lot of them moved to Vancouver, and some of them moved to Singapore. And now I know up in Toronto there's a bunch of filming stuff as well. I had a couple friends that are like texture artists that moved up to Vancouver to work. Oh my God, I'm never gonna get this. Where am I? Oh, I gotta go around this thing. I gotta really watch the stupid ceiling in this place, man. It is very easy to run into the ceiling in here if I crank it just a little too hard. There we go. Up. How did I do this before? Past it. Yeah, Vancouver's beautiful, and they have a big studio system there. I feel like the one thing we have here is weather that's really cooperative most of the time. Like, you could plan a shoot, way out in advance, and you're almost 100% you're gonna have clear days and stuff outside, which is really nice. And it's dry. It's you don't have to worry about humidity on your stuff. It makes, in that regard, it's a little easier. I think Vancouver is way prettier. I think there's like pretty stuff here too, but it's not as pretty as Vancouver. Vancouver is beautiful. What's funny is I did architectural renderings for a long time, and I'm from Florida, so the buildings in Florida all have like this film on the windows, like for protect from UV and whatnot. So all the windows are reflective. And it's hot, and like if you are in Florida, you look at a building, you can't see through the windows unless it's at night and the lights are on. But in Vancouver, they have that glass. It's called vision glass, and you can see through so many of the windows even during the daytime. And that was a weird thing for me. And I remember doing projects that were based in Vancouver or even like Pacific Northwest before I ever went there. And every time I would like make my 3D models, that would, treat the glass like it was like Florida glass. I didn't realize it was so different. And I'm like, yeah, they don't have reflective glass like that here. Oh my gosh. I gotta figure out what I'm doing here, because I keep doing this thing where I'm drifting way, way off to one side or the other more than I expect. And it kind of does it. Oh, let's see here. We have lots of movies filmed here. My props are okay. I want to get better. Would love to get your level. Yeah, all you gotta do is just keep making stuff. And I think one of these things is when you make stuff and then share it all the time, you'll get people will just start to see your work and want to hire you. And the more that you get, it just kind of builds on itself. As long as you're making stuff and sharing it, you should hit that point. And I think the biggest thing too is like being self-critical. Let me see here. Just built a xenomorph and now an ash head from Alien. Oh, that's awesome. You know what's so crazy is that scene when Ash's head is just on the floor. It always bothered me in Alien when they do that edit, and they put his head down, and then they cut to they have the puppet, like the fake head, and then they cut to the real head, and they just try to cut it together, and all they had to do was cut to a crew member making a face like, oh my gosh, and then cut back to the real head, and it would have been way seamless. And they always try to do that little cut right in that point. But I love that scene when Ash loses his mind. Is awesome. Sorry, I'm on this other monitor. We just built Xenomorph for now, Ash. Yeah, here's cold. Things won't cure half as quick. No kidding, man. That's like, do you go up to like Whistler and all that stuff and go skiing or snowboarding or anything? Yeah, so many high rises. I remember the first time going into Vancouver, it's like you come over there's like a bridge that goes in, and there's like all the high rises. They all have that kind of greenish tinged glass that you can just see in. And that was like the first thing I noticed, like, holy cow, they got that glass here. I thought it was made up. I gotta go that way. What I really need to do, ow, man, I need to slow down. Try to do this right, and don't worry about the speed, just try to hit all the things perfectly. Yeah, I don't know if I need to recalibrate my controller. I feel like it drifts to the left real easy, but stop it, but it won't drift to the right. Uh-oh. Oh, there it goes. Yep, milk trip. Yeah, sometimes Whistler is a tourist trap. I believe that. I would love to. I grew up in Florida, didn't have access to snow, so I didn't get to like snow ski or snowboard or anything until much later. And the times I did, I'm not good at those things. However, I did skateboard, and I surfed for years and years. So everybody's like, oh man, snowboarding will be easy. But I tried it, and it's kind of not the same as either one of those sports. It's a little more similar to surfing, but it's still like turning's completely different. And I'd love to get good at it. It seems like Whistler's got good areas for that. But what I'd really like to go to Whistler to do is go mountain biking and do some like free ride kind of stuff. I think that would be really fun. And I know they've got like really good. Vancouver in general apparently has got tons of like crazy mountain bike courses with all this like built-in wood stuff. The wood always looks damp, like it's been rained on every single day. Looks so sketchy. Oh my God, stop. See that thing? Just did it again. Oh. Yeah, if I touch anything, the throttle just maxes out. It makes you crash worse than ever. Oh my God. I have a cheap drone. Flew it once at the park. It's kind of light. Wind almost took it. Yeah, summertime and bike rides down the mountain. Yeah, see, I'd love to take the bikes out there. Yeah, as far as the drones go, was your drone an FPV drone, or was it like with like a cinema style drone with a gimbal and stuff? So I don't know if you're here earlier when I was rambling about it, but I do have multiple drones. I've technically flown drones since 2016, maybe, give or take a year, but most of those, like the DJI style or any of those, are considerably easier to fly than this FPV drone stuff, which is way more touchy on the throttle, and you're controlling everything. So there's like no guardrails to do, any of the turns or the banking or whatever. It's all the pilot in control. And oh my God, almost got that. Yeah, it's like a pilot control. They control every little thing, and it is definitely takes some concentration if you're not good at it, and I am not good at it. So you'll see me start to like space out for a second. I'm trying to coordinate my hands correctly. There's things that with like the other drone, like for example, let me see if I can do it here. I'm gonna go this way. Like a turn like that on a normal drone, I would do almost the reverse. Like I would rotate the drone to the left, but I would push the I don't know, is it yaw? Push that other stick to the right so that the drone will kind of drift sideways. But with an FPV drone, if you do that, oh come on, if I can take off. If I push the stick to the right, I'll just do a roll. The drone will flip over. So it doesn't quite tilt the same. So to go sideways, like if I want to stray sideways, I have to give it a real controlled lift, and then some throttle to go sideways, and that is it messes with my brain because I've spent years not having to do that and having slightly different reactions. So there's aspects that feel really comfortable, and then little things that are just totally wrong. There's a cheaper $150 drone. A lot of people that are coming here from everywhere to hit Whistler. It is like the spot. I mean, apparently there's a lot of other places in Vancouver, near Vancouver, that are not Whistler, where you can go ride bikes and stuff. I just don't know any of them because Whistler's got like the big tracks. They don't have like races there, downhill mountain bike races and stuff. And at least for a while, I don't know how it is. I haven't looked at it in quite a while, but it used to be like the spot to go in that area. It's like a big, almost like a mountain bike park. Oh my gosh, I'm hitting the wall so much in this thing. It's so frustrating. I was using this other simulator, and I heard good things about, but then I've had other people say, "Oh, that simulator is no good." should get this one. And I heard good things about this one too, so I'm trying both. And, oh man, I almost got it. And this one is fun. I wish this course didn't have a ceiling on it, because I don't have the skills enough yet to not smash the ceiling. And I'm trying to get there, but it's very frustrating because when I hit the ceiling, it causes all kinds of havoc on my controls. And I'd rather get used to getting my turns down without smashing things every 2 seconds. And the other simulator kind of did that. Now, the other simulator isn't as bad as it's made out to be. Now that I'm playing this one feels pretty similar. Pretty similar. Not the same. This one's a little better. Like I said before, this one's a little better. But after doing this one, I don't know. Maybe once I get a real drone myself, I'll like one of them more. Like everybody says, this one is the one that feels the most real. But I gotta be honest, this one feels very much like the other simulator. And maybe it's the settings on specific drones that are or something. Let's see if I can hit this thing. Ugh. Gene Simmons lives up there with his family. Oh, crazy. You know what's funny? Speaking of Gene Simmons, I talked to him on the phone one time. I talked to Gene Simmons on the phone one time. And I used to work at a newspaper when I was in Florida called the Gator Times. And basically get this call one day, and I was the production manager, so I was in charge of doing all the layout of the paper and sending it off to the print shop and all this stuff. But I was there all the time. So this one day the phone rings, and this guy's on the other end. He's like, "Hi, is Stephen Feller there?" And I was like, "Sure." And Stephen Feller was the editor, so he sat right across from me. And so when I gave him clicked the phone over and he picked the call up, he started talking, he started doing an interview. And I was like, "Who is that?" He goes, "That's Gene Simmons." And I was like, "Oh my God." So that was my phone conversation with Gene Simmons. Was like, "Hello, Gator Times." "Yep, I'll get him." And that was it. But it was Gene Simmons. The same exact thing happened with Usher and the comedian Gallagher, if you know who that is. Exact same situation at the same newspaper, where I picked up the phone. "Hello, hey, can I talk to Stephen Feller?" He was interviewing him. I was like, "Sure." And then I handed over, and turned out it was some famous person. Apparently some kids that were good at video games got jobs flying drones for military. I 100% believe that. So this is the thing, is that this simulator, these drone simulators translate directly to flying real drones, which is the whole reason I have them right now, is because I want to get real FPV drones, but I don't want to destroy them right away. So I'm trying to practice in the simulators to get my skills up before I buy one, because I don't want to pay for one and immediately destroy it, which I'll probably do anyway, but at least I'll maybe have a little fun first. You look badass doing that Aussie video. Thank you, man. Yeah, that was a wild experience, man. I think I talked about it on the channel here, but it was pretty crazy day. And then I got to work with them again for this Omaze, which is like a charity thing. They basically Omaze, they like almost like do like a lottery kind of thing for cars. Like you have a chance to win a car, and the money goes to a good cause and all this stuff. And I did one of those with Ozzy. It was the same demon creature, but I actually got to have dialogue with Ozzy. And when you did the music video, I was on set with them for a little bit, but we didn't get to talk or anything really. It was just, I was introduced to him, and then we did photos and stuff. We did a little bit on we're on like a few shots on the video. It was really quick, and then we did a bunch of photos together, and then he left, and then I did all my stuff for the video. Was shot kind of like afterwards, after he was gone. So I was only on set with him maybe 10 minutes for the video, and then maybe like another 10 minutes to do photos, and then he left. And I saw him the whole day, like where I was getting the makeup done. I could see him filming the video, so I would look down and watch him shoot all his scenes and stuff. And then, then it was my turn, and the whole second half of the day they were filming me. But that call sheet for that shoot, I want to frame it. I actually need to pull that up and save it, because it just said, usually you see a call sheet and it'll have all these different people on there for the actors and whatever. It'll have all their names and written out. And this one, was only 2 people on the call sheet. It was like Ozzy Osbourne and Gordon Tarpley, and that was just so surreal. I was at like CVS or Walgreens. I think it was CVS, and my wife was getting a prescription for something, and I was in there with her when I got the call sheet, and I saw it. I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. Like, just to see it written out was just the coolest thing. But yeah, he's real nice, professional. He definitely is like done some drugs, but he's way more thoughtful, I think, than you would like. He really considers things, and he thinks about stuff, and he doesn't come off that way when you see him like talk. He has a lot of trouble putting together sentences, but he really is thinking about stuff. So when you see him with people that he knows and he's friends with, you can tell that he's really considering, especially you talking about music or anything. He's real funny, has all these funny stories about, playing shows, and it's pretty awesome. And I feel like if you're not around him more than, you don't see more than 5 minutes of him on TV at a time, you kind of don't get a sense of that. He just looks like he's just a disaster in the brain. But he's really not. And what's crazy is that when he had the lines to read for that the Omaze thing, if you give him a script, he can just do it perfectly. He didn't fumble and stutter and do all this stuff. He could just say the dialogue like perfectly. It's almost like when he's thinking of his own things to say, he stammers really, really bad. But I guess that same thing applies with his music, because he goes up and he can sing all the songs and he doesn't stammer through the songs. So, yeah, it was pretty cool. Da-da-da. Background. Let me see here. I've done some background work here in Vancouver. Yeah, I always tell people that's like a really, really good way to get in, man. I do a ton of background work. I love doing principal. If I can be the main guy, that's great, but if not, I'm happy to do background. It's fun being on set. Gordon Tarpley is my favorite. How is he exactly? Who? I just see who. I'm doing all right. Fortunately, I'm out of the path of these crazy fires here in LA, but it's been really kind of distracting me today. I haven't got much done today because I just keep watching the news. So this is kind of like my little break here. Is doing some drone practice, and just trying to come to grips with how bad I'm going to crash my drone when I get it. Try to get the little subtleties down and figure out how to turn, like not drift past things like that. Gina Carla Esposito came, shook my hand, and thanked me for a better. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's like the whole thing is real fun. Did you get to work on any of the shows there? I don't know. Apparently, they're talking about taking some of the Star Wars shows. I mean, a lot of them were in LA, and now they're going to apparently move them to Canada and to London. So I'm very curious to see where they end up. It's a little bit of a bummer because I finally got to work on Skeleton Crew after a bunch of drama with another performer basically lied about me and cost me a lot of work on I could have worked on Kenobi and Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett in Ahsoka. All these shows that were filmed here, I had people trying to get me into those shows, and this guy, because he lied about me, cost me a lot of work. And I finally got past all that stuff for Skeleton Crew, which was great. And Skeleton Crew was really fun to work on. And then I got to work on a few days of Mandalorian and Grogu. And that was cool. So we'll see if I get spotted in that. I don't know. But you know, I'm like finally get my foot back in the door with this stuff, and then they're gonna like move the productions to out of the country, which sucks. And I'm kind of hoping. Apparently, with they filmed Obi-Wan here, and it was supposed to be filmed in England, and then they moved it to the States kind of late in the game. So I'm kind of hoping that the same thing happens with some of these other productions. Like they're planning to film on England, and maybe they'll change it up and film here, or maybe they'll film parts of it here. I don't know. I mean, I worked on Multiverse of Madness, and that was filmed in England, and then they filmed up some of the stuff here in the States. Something else I worked on too was filmed overseas. I worked on this movie called The Gray Man. It's on Netflix, and on Borderlands. Both those Borderlands are shot in like Prague or somewhere, and then they did some reshoots or pickup shots or something, and I got to work on those here. That was fun, even though the movie is sort of dumb. It was a fun shoot to work on. How about his smoke? You guys got to keep the air filters running high. Where we're at, we're pretty far. There is a little smoke here, but it's not very bad. I can see it to the south a lot. But we have a couple air purifiers in the house that just are on, and one of them has like a little color like a ring on the top that shows like the air quality. And in my house, it's usually blue or green, which is like blue is the best and green's like good. And then obviously red and orange, all that's like bad. And over the last today, it's been on and off going into the red and stuff. It's very sensitive. So even though my house, it doesn't feel smoky in here, that machine is, you know, can tell if the air is bad. Man, you look cold. You're not here in Canada, are you? No. Not in Canada. But I think I talked about this at the beginning of the stream. Like in my house, it's 2 stories, and like it's like pretty high ceilings in here. And our bedrooms are upstairs, but the thermostat for the whole house is downstairs. So if the thermostat down here, if it feels good at this level, if it's warm here, upstairs it'll be super hot. So to make it comfortable upstairs, we turn the temperature down here, especially at night. Like during the day, we'll turn up a little bit, but like at night, I click it down a few so that it's like comfortable in the room, because otherwise our bedroom gets like 85 degrees or something. So I just do that. My wife went to sleep a little while ago, so I'm just like bundled up, cozy. So I look cold, but I'm actually cozy. But if I took this stuff off, I would be cold. We have small fan film here, but it's pretty good special effects. I did Ewok hands and latex gloves. Oh, that's awesome. If you need any, I don't think I could share photos, but I got a lot of reference photos from the Ewoks, from the archives, and it was pretty cool. Did you sculpt them in clay and then do like a plaster mold and then do like a slip cast latex, or like pour it in and let it skin up, or did you do like a brush up latex on like a foam fabricated hand? It's called Bucket Heads. Oh yeah, I heard of Bucket Heads. I have not seen Bucket Heads yet. I have to go watch that. Is that out already, or is it a new one? I'm pretty sure I've seen that like on YouTube. I don't think I've watched it. Hold on, now I'm curious. Oh, hold on a second. Gotta look on my other computer here. Let's see. Yeah, 2018 Buckethead Star Wars story release. Okay, that's cool. Oh yeah. There was going to be like more of them, right? Hang on a second. Oh yeah, chapter 3. So I feel like I know. Someone else that worked on this. I have to go look and see what the deal is. Monster Clay. Yeah, 3 episodes are out. That's cool. Dude, you're such a chill guy. I've met you a few times. Can't believe anything bad said about you. Man, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, the guy that said it. I should do a whole expose video on this guy because he's such a piece of garbage. And I don't have drama with anybody, man. I get along with everybody. And this guy I used to consider a friend. I photographed his wedding. Literally photographed his wedding. I've given him tons of stuff, like helped him out with parts for the droids. He wanted C-3PO parts for like Greeblies and stuff, and I sold him a bunch of stuff for like way cheap compared to what I would normally sell them for. And the guy like turned on me just in 2015. I got a job. I don't know how much detail I could go into. It's not bad. I mean, it was a long time ago. It's 9 years ago, and almost 10 years ago now that this whole thing happened. I got a job. They contacted me to do C-3PO for something, and I was like, I got the call, and I was like, is this a Lucasfilm approved shoot? And they said yes. So I said, they got a guy they use. It's this other guy. If he's not available, they may let me do it. And long story short, they called me back about 10 days later. They said, oh, it looks like we will be using you. They told me that everything was on the up and up with Lucasfilm and everything. And so then I ended up doing the gig. And then this other guy got all bent out of shape about it. And he like held it against me forever. And ever since then, it's been ugly. To give you another example of something he did, I used to have a C-3PO builder page on Facebook. And because he was my friend, he, at one point he was like, can I be an admin on the 3PO page? And I said yes. And then after that thing happened, I was looking at my stuff. I would get my messages forwarded to my email on the page. So if a message came in, I couldn't see the message, but I could tell someone had written. And I don't get to check. I'm pretty busy, so I don't get to check all the time. So I finally got a chance to go check the 3PO page, and I went in there to go look at it, and I couldn't see the messages. And it turned out that he removed me as an admin on my page. The page that I made, he stole it from me. He took me off as an admin. This is in 2015. It's like after all this stuff happened. And at the time, the way Facebook pages are now, you can set different levels of admin privileges. But at the time, you could either make someone an admin or not. And I never, ever in a million years would think someone would like steal my page from me. It would never even cross my brain. But the thing is, once they do, it's very hard to recover it. And I tried really hard to get my page back. There's all these articles on Google at the time about people like companies, big companies, who had like a disgruntled employee that stole their Facebook group page and was just going crazy, and the company couldn't recover it because they had admin privileges. There's a lot. So basically lost that page because the guy stole it from me. He's a giant piece of shit. And it's a bummer. But finally passed all that nonsense. And the guy is just like mountains of like shady stuff, and he comes off as Mr. Wholesome good guy. Hey, I'm so friendly. Sounds like Ron Howard when he talks. And he's just like the creepiest, shadiest, dirtiest piece of garbage. The list of things I could tell you about, crazy. And it didn't even click with me right away. That's the thing, is like, even after he stole my 3PO page, I still was trying to be friends with the guy. Still trying to be friends with him. I thought that I did something wrong to wrong him. I felt bad. No, it turned out he's just a bad person. Sadly, I have had lots of those types of friends in my past. Just got to move on and forget them. That's the thing, is like, typically I never have issues with people, man. Never. And what sucks is that, like, Star Wars stuff is my favorite thing since I was a little kid. And to be, close to where they film the shows have a set of skills that's really, really particularly specific to work on those shows, and then be denied working on those shows, even though I'm in SAG-AFTRA, like I'm in the actors union, all that stuff, and then not be able to work on the shows because this guy's saying stuff about me. It makes it harder to just like, whatever. See you, dude. Like if it was just in some other aspect of my life, I could just, whatever. I just ditch it. But this guy is like, just done all this stuff. It's really shady. Igor, I've been following you for many years, and you're a wonderful guy. You're too good. Dad, thank you very much. Good people have trouble imagining that others are creeps. I guess so. I mean, it's like, and you know what's funny is that I think that might be true in the opposite way too, where a person who is prone to do shady things or backstab people or do underhanded stuff doesn't trust other people, because he treated me like I was trying to get one over on him when the whole thing came up. I still have the emails from him and stuff. I wrote back and forth with him and told him the whole situation. And the thing that happened, like kind of, I didn't really get in trouble with Lucasfilm, but I thought I was going to get in trouble with Lucasfilm because it was a thing just turned kind of bad. And I immediately contacted Lucasfilm after I found out it was wrong. Contacted them, talked to them, the whole thing. And when I put this guy before me, and when I did, I thought that he would have this job. I never for a second thought that, like, I just didn't think I was going to get it. It didn't matter. I didn't care. It was like, cool. If I get it, great. If he gets it, cool. He's my friend. Like, doesn't matter. In his brain, he's like thinking I'm like trying to compete with him and I'm stealing his work and all this stuff. I'm like, man, I never, first of all, I put you first. Secondly, I wouldn't have cared one bit if he got the job. If he got it, cool. I wasn't like out there, pushing on, like people's knocking on all the doors trying to get into work. It just came my way, and that was it. It was crazy. It blindsides you because you're in sweet mode and expect everyone to say, yeah, I guess so. I mean, and I don't really, like, that's the thing is I think I go through life not expecting stuff from people one way or the other. I just am kind of like neutral. So I don't ask people for stuff almost ever because it's just one of those things. Like if I don't ask people for things, then I can't, if I don't expect something from somebody, they can never like wrong me, and then everything's good. I'm always in like good standing with most people. It just makes it easier. I'd rather like buy stuff from people that I don't really know than from a friend. And my friends are great, but I trust them, but it's just as easier, unless I really, really need them to sell me a thing. It's makes it, I don't know. It's crazy. But anyway, this guy, it's been now 9 years of stuff, and now I think that he's starting to tarnish with all the people that he had kind of like, tricked into liking him. I think they are all starting to see through it now. So it's, people that I knew were like friends with him, or like, for example, I'd have people working on these shows in one form or another, actors or prop builders or whatever, that would try to get me on these shows. And they would talk to the head people on the shows that could, in those departments that could get me in. And they would say, oh, we can't because he's blacklisted for this, that, or the other. Some crap they heard from this guy. And later, the same people that were not hiring me because they heard this bad stuff about me had reached out to me on their own. So I got past that hurdle, but it was kind of too late in the production of some of these things for me to get in on these shows, which is a huge bummer. I would have loved to have worked on some of these things. And like the first season of Mandalorian, I was fitted for like a really, really cool character. They wanted to cast me for it. I went into fittings. It was amazing. Everything was great. And it was like, the fitting was in like August or September, the year before that. And then the character was going to shoot in February. or it was a few months out. So there wasn't a schedule yet. But I did the fitting, full costume. The behind the scenes people were there for like the first season Mandalorian. It was really cool, and everything went really, really well with the fitting. And I've been a performer for a long time. I've played in bands. I've done artwork. I've done all kinds of stuff. So you can tell. Like, if something doesn't go well, it's really easy to tell. I'm not delusional about that at all. But this day went awesome. It was like an incredible, incredible day. Got my fitting. The whole freaking crew that built the costume was there. The behind-the-scenes people were there. The people that owned the shop that made the costume were there. And they were complimenting me and sent this beautiful email about me to Favreau. It was really freaking cool. And then I'm like excited because I'm going to be part of this new Star Wars show. And at the time, there were no Star Wars shows out yet, so it was like a big deal for me. And about a month and a half later, I reached out just to find out if they had a shooting schedule yet, so I could kind of like make sure I wasn't going to double book. And they were like, oh, well, they wanted to try a couple other people, and it was like kind of weird. The way they acted to me was weird. And then I just didn't have the part. It was just gone. And then so I was like, well, that's how it is. Sometimes someone's better at something than you are, and that's just how it goes, and that's okay. But in this circumstance, I didn't get beat out because someone's better than me. I got beat out because someone lied about me. And I didn't find out for like a year. Found out over a year later what had happened. And it was, man, obviously you could tell I'm still bitter to this day. But anyway, yeah. So anyway, that was great. So there's part of my story. So maybe one day I'll do a whole video just on that whole thing, and I'll tell you exactly who it was. Fraggle Rock. Let's see. That's why I don't have any. Sometimes friends suck. That's why I don't have any. This can be true. Again, most of my friends have been awesome. I haven't had any. And even if me and a friend have like a random thing where we annoy each other or something, like they're still my friend. I don't have anybody that would do something bad enough to make me like not be their friend. It's pretty rare, extremely rare. I don't have any friends either. I just keep building and building like a dozer from Fraggle Rock. Fraggle Rock is awesome. I was down to Fraggle Rock. What's funny is when I was like the age for Fraggle Rock, I did not have cable, and my neighbors did, and I would see it at their house from time to time, and I was always kind of like jealous that I didn't have it. The Fraggles. I don't know if you guys ever done these FPV drones, but holy moly. They're pretty good. It's funny, if I start to space out on these things, I can tell. Like I will do really good for a minute, and then I will start to space out, and I will just crash left and right. This is the thing, the other simulator I had, I still have it on here. I might switch over to it a little bit. I feel like I can just kind of fly around without crashing into the ceiling constantly. Like it's outdoors. And this simulator, you can buy packs to expand it. Like you can be outside and fly around stuff or do whatever, but I feel like maybe I can do some more in here. Let me see if I can go to another. Let's look here. I haven't really explored this thing yet. Do you still do silvering of props and costumes? Yeah, absolutely. I've been testing some new stuff. I got some Duralumin recently, the Ultralumin. Their new stuff is really, really, really good. And in the next, I'm gonna try. Like I only have maybe like 2.5 weeks. I gotta metalize some more parts for my 3PO costume. I'm trying to do them before the 2nd. I have a brand new head for my 3PO suit, new arms. And I wore the new arms in the parade, but they're not quite painted right. I did them kind of last minute, and then I had to emergency fix them. And the emergency fix is okay, but it's not where I want them to be. So I'm going to try to repaint those arms in the next 2 weeks. And I am making a bunch of medals. I'm going to be running a trail marathon on February 1st. It's like 2 weeks away. I've barely been training my running too, and I'm about to go do another trail marathon. And I'm making all the medals for it. And I'm probably gonna do some kind of metallic like paint treatment on those guys too. Oh my god, it's 1:20 in the morning. This is ridiculous. Let's see here. How's my controller looking? My god, there's so many people writing me like got a fire. He's very good at FPV. Gordon's getting very good at FPV. Jones, I watched the first video. Boy, I am improving. I'm not getting good yet. I'm getting slightly better. Building Green Goblin Defoe style life-size mannequin and just finished the Xenomorph might build and engineer for Prometheus. Oh my gosh, yeah, those are awesome. Man, a shop that I've worked with several times did that Green Goblin, the Defoe one, and it's I think they've got like the masters that in their they did that first version that had the animatronic like realistic face. It was really cool. And then I think that they made the one that ended up in the movie as well. It was a Studio ADI, and I work at that shop from time to time. And now it's like Studio Gillis, but he has a lot of the same the display room stuff from ADI is at his shop now. I'm pretty sure that mask is there, or a copy of it that they made, like a production made copy. Let's see. Little Twerp Gordon is getting very good at FPV. I want to do full size Ark of the Covenant, the 3PO gold method. That's the one in the archives right now was repainted. The gold was redone on it. I don't know, probably like 12 years ago, and they did it. One of the same chroming guys that does a bunch of 3PO stuff did that arc for the Lucasfilm archives. Pick a different track, countryside or shipyard. That's what I gotta do here. I gotta find out like where I can find the different like areas, because like every time I go on one, it looks like it's options. I just got this set up today, so I don't know this program very well. I'm looking here. American Showdown 2019 is a fun racetrack. Ooh, Mid-American Showdown. Will I have it, though? Controller Nemesis. What is this? Chase after another plane. Best. Wow, that'll be bad. Single player, leaderboard, track manager. Can I download track, or do I have to buy them? This program takes up a huge amount of space on my computer. Holy cow. I downloaded it today. I think it's like 17 gigs or something crazy. Beginner, intermediate, all, search. I don't know what to search for. Is that the one? I can find that one? Ooh, scenery. Look at that. Okay, this is awesome. Pick a different track, countryside or shipyard. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you. I'm gonna try that right now. It was up for auction. The Goblin. Oh yeah, I believe that it was. And for these productions, they make like, they have that rule. It's like, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, and they almost always have doubles of everything. Sometimes they've got 5 or 6 of the piece, and they've got like 3 or 4 heroes, and then 10 stunt versions. I have a bunch. And so I'm not sure which one went for auction, but they definitely have one at one of the studios, and it might not have been production used, but it was definitely production made. But it's like the Vader helmets for Star Wars or something. If you go to the archives, there's like 10 helmets for Empire Strikes Back. There's just a whole shelf with helmets, and there's like 10 more for Return of the Jedi. There's tons of them. And, if anything gets a nick, or they drop it on set, or something happens, or one's more comfortable than the other, they can swap them real quick. Countryside, I guess I'm going to download this. Will it let me download it for free? Oh my god, look at that. Alright. Cool. Let's go. I guess I got it. It said downloaded. Do I have it? Do I not have it? Import track. Alright, back again. Oh. What did I just get into? Okay, track manager. Back. Single player. Will this give me... edit quad. I don't know anything about these quads. Every time I try one, it's like some different setup. Track manager, single player, quick start, multiplayer. All right, sorry guys, I don't know what the heck I'm doing here, so I'm trying to do this. Stephen McLaren, hello. Adam Savage did a video with that goblin costume. Some good looks at it up close. Yeah, it's really cool. So, was it at the prop store in LA or London? Do you know? I work at the one in LA relatively. I used to go work there a lot, but after I hurt my knee, I've only been there maybe like a few times a year, like 3 or 4 times a year. But I used to be there like literally like 4 or 5 times a week for like a couple years. I'd be at prop store all the time. Actually, the thumbnail that I put for this video, I almost put a picture of me with the RoboCop 2 costume that I did restoration on. London, yeah. So the London has some of the coolest stuff in their like permanent collections here. Let's see, quad settings, add quad, okay, continue, and this is a track. So scenery, well, let me go. Did I not download this one? Oh my gosh. Alright, I don't know what I did wrong. I thought I grabbed that track. It said downloaded, right? Track manager. Tracks. Alright, download track. Countryside, beginner. Oh, look at this. Well, now let me download it. That's weird. Very weird. Pick single player or Nemesis mode. And then it lets you pick the track and go to all the tracks. Then it will give you a list of tons of tracks. Okay, I'll do that. Let's see. Hit the continue button. It will take you to the other page where you can pick a track. So when I did this last one, did you see the tracks it gave me? Let me go back here. I'll go to single player. Continue. Here's the tracks. Scenery. This is like that big warehouse one that I was just in. Am I missing it? Oh, look at this. Right here we go. Oh my gosh, this is it. Thank you. All right. Let's just go here. Fly it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. That was very helpful. Yeah, this is the first day I've flown this. Wow, look at this craziness. Yeah, it's the first day I've used this simulator, so the only thing I'd seen is in that warehouse, and I'm kind of, this looks like some playground stuff that I built when I was in high school. Oops, dead. Look, I just ended up on some different track here. And yes, I am no good at this at all, so I've been doing this for like a few hours. I think the, oh, stop it. I did, oh God, I've flown, if you were here earlier, you already heard me say this, but I've flown, you know, like regular cinema style drones, but FPV is new to me, and there's some things that are quite different on the controller that I'm still getting used to, like some of the things I would do to turn like that. One of the right stick, I'm doing almost exact opposite what I'd do if I was using like one of my my Mavic Mini or my Phantom or something. And I mentioned earlier I had a Storm Drone 6, which the throttle control was similar to this. It was almost like a very nerfed version of FPV, like with all the guardrails up, where I couldn't, you couldn't do a roll like this with the Storm Drone 6. It would just kind of like go sideways, but then it would be like, let me see if I can do this. Sorry guys, I'm experimenting here as I do this because I don't. But it's like, get it steady, don't go forward, just up, and then tilt it. But it feels crazy because the camera's pointed so high up that it looks like I'm looking upward. I'm really just, the drone's probably pretty level. I don't know. I gotta figure it out. So anyway, every once in a while I'll get like a few moments where I really feel like I'm feeling it, like it's working, and all of a sudden I'm like, wow, I'm doing it, and then I start crashing like crazy. Yep. Oh, look at this. They put all these holes in the roof so they can do some silly stuff and get stuck. Yay! So good. Cool. It's hard to navigate, but you're getting it. Thank you. Yeah, that was really, really helpful, man. I would have been just like totally lost here. And I was using the DRL simulator the last few days. This is a new simulator, and I do think the flight on this is a little better, but it's not crazy better. It's a little better, and it's, oh golly, and I'm still wrapping my head around some of the things and just trying to sort out how to, keep my targets kind of in the center of my screen and stuff. How to save myself. I think the biggest problem I'm having are like where I come up to something. Let me see if I can do an example. Like if I got to do a sharp turn like that, I drift too far. I feel like I need to, if I either turn real sharp or I turn too wide and far, and I got to dial that in. And it is tricky. I'm getting better at it. And again, I'll have a time where I'll go through like a bunch of them in a row, and I'm like, oh my god, I just did that. And then I try to do it again, and I can't. Like that, drifting around, trying to get turned around and swap it back and forth. It's crazy. You can change your cam angle in drone settings. I think what's funny is like I kind of think I like it tilted up like this, where the horizon is like I can still see the horizon down at the bottom. I feel like that's good, because then if I go fast, I got it's pointing forward enough that I feel like I'm flying forward. Oh, too much throttle. I think this is the thing with this simulator that's different than the other one, is the throttle is definitely more sensitive probably in a good way. So like if I was going to do that thing again, let's see, I'm coming down like this and I want to go in there, I can hit the throttle later. I mean, that was not a good example, but I didn't smack the ground until I hit the inside of the building. But the throttle, it just really has a lot more power coming out of like I feel like I can save myself. Oh, that barn's closed. I'm going the wrong place. Oh my god. And it's tricky, man. But I'm glad that they make a simulator, because honestly, if I just went out and bought a drone, I would definitely like be not in good shape. Oh my god. I almost did it. I'm so glad you showed me where these things are, man. This is very helpful. Yeah, I like being able to overshoot and kind of correct until I'm trying to tighten up the maneuvers, but I'm just not good enough yet. And I think when I was constantly crashing into the ceiling of that last place, it was a little discouraging. I mean, like that's a huge opening there. So, the risk isn't the same as going through those little gates or whatever, but it feels like I'm starting to get a feel for getting it turned around, doing a bit of a dive. Oh, too much. I raised this 50-degree cam angle. I think 30 is good for starting point. I wonder what this one is. Let me see if I can change it. Maybe I'll turn it down just a little bit. I feel like that won't make me want to go as fast, because I think when it's tilted so far, I really want to like go fast, and I'm not good enough to go fast yet. Let me see. How did I do this? Change track. Now Message. Advanced drone setup. Let's see. Ooh, look at this. Roll, pitch. Yeah, I'm not going to mess with any of those things. Cam angle. Is this it, right? Am I crazy? Or is this, I don't know how to read. Axis strength. Angle 50. Huh. Do you think this is the cam angle here, or is this going to be my regular, ooh, they got beta flight in here. Okay, so horizon. I'm going to do this. I can always go back. I remember that it was there. Horizon. I'm just gonna put both of these at 30. See what happens. Let's see if I'm sad. All right. All right, here we go. Did it change it? I don't know, it's hard to tell. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, this is my I've literally live streamed every single time I've practiced. I've done maybe like 10 minutes that I didn't live stream where I was just going through a track or testing out the controller to make sure stuff was right. And I'm kind of doing this so I can log my progress and see like how I'm improving, and then, you know, again, one day when I'm actually good at this stuff, I can look back at it and see how terrible I was, and maybe, like, you know, use that as a teaching tool for someone else, because I think that's the thing with pretty much anything that I'm good at is I sucked really bad at it at one point, and I've gotten good at enough things that I know that if I just work at it, I'll get there. But I meet people who don't see that side. They're like, oh, you just are good at this stuff. I'm like, no, I was bad at it for a real long time too. Or you just get better, you don't even realize it just because you just do something so much, and it just gets easier and easier. Let's see, I'm gonna do it right. Whoa, too much right turn. I know it must be like nightmarish watching somebody, like if you're good at this and then watching me slam into everything and miss giant openings, probably terrible. How far can you go in this simulator? Can you go all the way out to those mountains, or does it stop you? Oh, I didn't save the settings. That's probably why it didn't feel any different. Okay, I'll go check again. Oh my god, look over here. There's like different stuff. Like a whole track out in the woods. But this is pretty cool. The environment's nice and big. I mean, this is pretty fun. I like this little outdoor area a lot. Again, so glad he gave me a heads up on that. There's a barn over there. Is there like a radio tower? Look at all this stuff, man. This board is pretty big. Oh, look at this. Like a toboggan. What is this? Like a train track? Oh, this is the edge of the board here, I guess. Ah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Whoop. Out in the trees. Change quad settings. You have to go to change quad settings. You didn't save settings. The best guys in the world is practicing here. That's cool. Well, Gordon, I'm out. Thanks for hanging out. I'm sure you're probably already left. The time I see the chat and then respond and then the delay is kind of crazy. So again, I'm sorry if it takes me a little bit to get to the comments here. I should probably... Oh my god, this is pretty cool. Oh, clearly not what I was going for. Oh, it just started me back here. All right, I'm gonna go back to the settings and try this again. Let me see if I can fly through this little. Oh no, I can't because I'm a dummy. It's funny, like I'm sure you guys see me. I'm like leaning all this, like it's gonna make a difference. All right, there's a tower here. Oh my God, can I go down that thing? Oh, it's got some little, whoops. Oh, like a little river. Man, there's so much stuff in this game. This is cool. Oh. Oh, great. Just drown my drone. Oh, you're in Hawaii. What time is it there? What island are you on? Let me see here. I'm going to go to advanced drone setup. Oh, look, it shows it here. Is there a save in here? Feed forward transition. Limit transition. Anti-grav game. Copy rates. Okay, that's good enough. All right. I love Hawaii. I've been to Oahu and Kauai, and I loved it very much. I would like to go back and explore some of the other islands. I just flew through a fence. Look, I can see my little shadow on the ground down there. Oh. Whoopsie. Save is on the left side. Alright, I'll try again. Oh, I see it now. I didn't hit it again last time. Let me go back and do it again. So, look at that. What did I just do? Change camera angle. There we go, 35.
Transmitter battery low.
Oh, there goes my transmitter battery. Parameters. Alright, back.
Transmitter battery low.
Oh, it's telling me my battery's low. I'm gonna have to stop soon. Anyway, I should go to bed pretty soon. I'm gonna do a quick little thing here. See if it'll stop yelling at me.
Transmitter battery low.
I wonder if I can tell it to shut up. Whoa. Alright.
Transmitter battery low.
I would go under that little bridge, but I don't. Oh, God damn it. I don't think I got the skill.
Transmitter battery low.
Maui is 1142. Wow. Oh, the very first. So when I got my first like DJI drone back in 20, I don't remember what year, 2017 maybe. I brought that one with me to Oahu, and it was the first time I flew that shit way out over the ocean, and that was very nerve-wracking. But now that thing I would just fly like as far out as whatever. I trust it now to come back. But at the time I'd never flown it out of range before, and I flew it way out there, and it went out of range, and I was like, oh great, and yeah, it did its job, and it came back. So that was cool. But I'm hoping, you know, in the next few months I'll have at least some kind of FPV drone, because I really am digging the idea of doing this. And I probably will start out with one of those small little, like those little guys, like what are they, 65 millimeter or whatever. This
transmitter battery low.
Super small little drones. I think that'd be fun to goof around on, and pretty forgiving if I mess up, and then I don't know, move up from there. I don't know what the next choice will be, but
transmitter battery low.
Can I hit this one? Oh, see, I'm not. When it comes down to those little spaces, I'm not good enough yet. I'm not good enough at all. What kind of drones do you like to fly with?
Transmitter battery low.
Do you have a favorite that you're using regularly? And as far as goggles, are you?
Transmitter battery low.
I don't have any goggles yet. It was funny because I actually have some goggles here that are for something else that I could probably plug into my computer. I was trying to set them up the other day
Transmitter
to use them with
battery low.
with the simulator. They probably work for this, but they're not drone goggles. But do you have like
Transmitter
a
battery low.
type of goggle that you like? It is as a new person to this, the goggle selection is slightly confusing. It's like
Transmitter battery
you can
low.
get a HD goggles, but you can get digital goggles, but you can get an analog receiver, and then you can convert it. And all, I'm like, I don't know. And then I see all these things with like analog's got better penetration, but the picture's sort of
Transmitter
crappy
battery low.
versus like super crystal clear picture, but maybe a tiny second of delay, and also not as good
Transmitter
penetration
battery low.
through buildings and stuff. I don't know what to go for. And make it. Oh, I made it under there. That was cool.
Transmitter battery low.
All right, this is very fun.
Transmitter battery low.
Look at that! It gave me a little screen distortion blip.
Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low.
I started with one of those 75 millimeters.
Transmitter battery low.
Man, see, there's like the small guys, like 75, 65. Those little drones look real fun to me, and when I watch videos of them,
Transmitter
they
battery
just look
low.
forgiving. Like as far as they're small. Probably flying them in spaces where I'm less likely to totally destroy it or lose it in the woods, because I don't think I'd fly it like crazy distances away from me or anything. So I feel like my chances of losing it go
Transmitter battery
down
low.
a little bit.
Transmitter battery low.
Oh, in the woods. It's funny, I feel like, can I just fly through these trees?
Transmitter battery low.
Look at that. The trees don't give a damn. Oh, that tree did. I guess the trunks are not passable,
Transmitter battery low.
but the leaves and stuff are kind of fair game.
Transmitter battery low.
You can hear my transmitters like, transmitter battery low.
Transmitter battery low.
My favorite to fly is a 5-inch. I bought DJI V2 goggles used. How much did your goggles cost used? You got to get like a. Do you have to? I mean, you always the DJI uses a special transmitter, right? Like it has its own transmitter system. I guess all of them do, right? I like the DJI hardware, and I've used a lot of DJI stuff, and I've got like an Osmo and a couple of drones, and then my first drone had DJI
Transmitter battery low.
had some DJI components on it, but it wasn't a DJI drone, and it worked really great. And I've always had good luck with their stuff. Like quality wise, it's been good. So I would trust the
Transmitter
goggles.
battery low.
Didn't they just come out with like a brand new goggles setup recently?
Transmitter battery low. Transmitter battery low.
Can I go under this bridge? Oops, if I don't hit the middle.
Transmitter
I also fly
battery low.
analog and use Sky Zone for the best analog. See, that's like I would do
Transmitter
that. Like
battery low.
250's within my price range. I don't want to go totally bananas, you know. I feel like
Transmitter
until I
battery
know what I want, I don't want to spend a ton of money on something and just, you know, buy something that's like $600, and then I'm like, man, I wish I
Transmitter
got
battery
wish I
low.
got something different. And then it's hard because you see stuff update so quick, and then people will sell you stuff for, you know, a decent
Transmitter
price.
battery low.
Oh,
Transmitter battery
terrible.
low.
All right, I'm gonna stop this thing here. It's yelling at me. I used a Radio Master Boxer for transmission. I looked at those. I was.
Transmitter battery low.
Hold on, I'm gonna turn this radio off because it is freaking out. I'm gonna get out of this program. I'm gonna flip back here. Ba 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 ba. Me,
Transmitter
yay!
battery low.
I'm gonna plug this thing because it is screaming at me. I looked at the Boxer. I used actually a controller like this recently on a shoot. I was doing a puppeteering thing, and it was which one was it? It was another Radio Master controller, and the guy that built the animatronics, he like builds stuff for Chucky. He like makes like serious animatronics for K&B Effects and a couple other studios, and he's like, oh, these Radio Master are great. They work really well and they're not expensive. So I picked that up, figuring, you know, get me going. I don't know, it's right here somewhere. I've got another radio but it's older. It's like 7 years old. Doesn't have all the same connections, you know, that these newer drones have. So I was like, okay, I got to get a radio anyway. So I'm gonna put that radio toward making an animatronic droid. So that other old controller is gonna live with that puppet. I use the LRS for my drones. DJI is just the video feed. Yeah, I've got this one is. I got the ELRS model of this Radio Master. This is the Pocket, and I haven't used it with any kind of radio transmission stuff. I've just been using it for the actual simulator, and the sticks and everything feel fine. And the one that I used on set had the same like the sticks and stuff were the same setup as, I think it was more kind of looked like a game controller. I got a picture of it somewhere. But there's also a Radio Master. I'm almost positive the little sticks and everything were the same on that same remote. And then for DJI, the transmitter, like if I pick up a drone, if I'm assuming I'm probably going to end up building half my own stuff, but you have to line up like an ELRS plus the DJI video transmitter. Do you have to have like special camera setup, or can you hook any camera to the transmitter for the video transmitter, or how does that work? I don't know. I'm just learning this. I see all these options and I'm like over my head. But by the time I go to buy one, it'll probably be a month or two from now, and I'll have some of this stuff in my brain a little bit better. This thing it was cool because it's like maybe $70 once it all said and done, and it was like all the reviews on it are awesome. So I was like, oh, this is cool. And again, I've had a remote control for a long time. Like I've had back in the day when it was like old school Futaba that had the physical, like to change channels, like you'd have to get a little crystal to go in your receiver and in your transmitter. So I've had a bunch of, you know, controllers, and this one, you're talking about the range on it, it's like way more than I'll ever need. So, you know, by the time I am into it, I'll probably have another, you know, maybe nicer controller if I even need it. So I don't even know. What time is it here? Oh my God, it's 2 a.m. almost. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks so much for helping me with that, getting that track thing figured out. That course, the open air countryside area in the in the simulator. I would have never found it. And it's helped distract me from all this wildfire stuff for a little bit, which is nice. But I'll probably be back tomorrow or the next day. I'll probably fly for an hour every day and just chatter about stuff. So if you're around, stop by. Thanks for stopping in. And man, thanks again so much for giving me these tips on this simulator is very helpful, and it just opened my eyes to the new menus. So, all right, kids, I'm going.